Yeah, so welcome to episode 5 of my ongoing series here, which I'm referring to as Indie or Outie, where I take a look at some of the small indie titles on Nintendo Switch and decide if they get to say in the Switch or get booted out. Um, but yeah, I'm just doing a completely blind look at a game here called Cosmonauta, and just to kind of give less of a review and more just first look impressions, see what to expect from a game as somebody that picks one of these up if you're interested in some of these cheaper titles that you might find on Nintendo's eShop. This game in particular, I think I paid around 50 cents for it, and it comes in at about 100 megabyte of space, and it seems to be a it seems to be a little. Oh wow! Oh, yeah, it's a little kind of Super Meat Boy-y type platformer clone thing with fairly unforgiving hazards, but really forgiving collision detection just there, which is quite nice to see in some of these indie titles because sometimes the controls and collision detection can be quite painful. Oh, so I can. Oh, these blocks fade. Oh. Uh-oh. These blocks fade for a second. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this. Hey. Cool. And it's one of those games where there's more than one solution, apparently. I'm not sure I'm supposed to be able to do that. But yeah, that controls quite nicely. It's just run, jump. Literally no other buttons do anything. Uh-oh. But... Oh. I mean, even the game's pretty forgiving in terms of the respawn points, though, because even there, it put me at the other side of a single jump. And it seems to handle quite well if you've ever played, like I said, one of those titles, like the quite difficult platformer games, Celeste, Meat Boy, and stuff like that. I guess you could kind of look at this as a super cheap Meat Boy. Wow. But like everything kind of goes exactly as you would expect to see in this type of game. Like there's very, very standard puzzles. I'm not going to say it's innovative or so, but I mean, there's a hazard I think I've first seen in Sonic back in the Mega Drive where you have alternating spikes up of a tunnel you're getting pulled up along. But yeah, it's not innovative, but it's still good in 2020. And these weird blocks that fade away. Oh, or most of them did. Oh. I'm guessing this is the gun that locks onto you and then immediately fires a laser that kills you. Yeah, it's featured in Explosion Man and Missplosion Man. Another good set of games in this type of thing. I wonder one thing with the actual controls of this actually. So we'll check the next time I'm on flat ground. Ooh. It's kind of harder to tell where those things are going to stop back and forth on. Like there's no background rail design for them that you might see in games with that type of bouncy platform regularly. Okay, I was going to stop to check something, but now I'm not going to. And the game has the spike hazard where if you jump ever so slightly too high, you're going to go into spikes and die like that also. Which has been in lots of games before, but here it's done very well. Nicely lined up spikes with a nicely lined up gun and hazard and something chasing you. But yeah, one thing about this is while it has, you can control it with the D-pad and with the analog stick, there's no analog movement. The character is always, it's either you're running or you're not, so there's no precise movements. Well, I mean there is obviously, you just have to tap it along, but you can't slowly creep up to something. And it's looking like a hat or a jetpack. And it's a jetpack with fuel. Kind of just stick along the roof. Haha. In terms of compelling, this game is definitely, like, the puzzles design. Yeah, it's not like they're difficult, but without being so unfair as to make you want to stop. Okay, and the game respawns quite fairly, if not for the fact of, I mean, you know, you're gonna fall to your death there a couple of times if you respawn. Rockets. But yeah, the hazards, level layouts, and game design in general just seems to be quite, like I said, quite compelling, and definitely. With the, yeah, there's really nice collision detection on this off of the hazards, so I mean, that's kind of a crucial thing with games like this. Just because I've seen a couple of indie games where the game itself is a very good idea, but they didn't put as much effort into collision detection. So, yeah, these games become quite... these games become quite difficult. I just dropped on zip. Oh, it's so you still fall while you're in there? Wait. Maybe they ruled that out, although... Haha, no you did. Wow. Yeah. Not today, hazards. Uh-oh. So, he's... Yeah, the difficulty curve seems to be getting... Oh, they're conveyor belts. The difficulty curve seems to be like following a normal Super Meat Boy trajectory. So I'll just knock out one more stage and take one look in to see as to how much other content there is in this. I don't have a double jump, but I seem to clip the platform there and be able to jump again. Uh-oh. Fire. Well, yeah, genuinely quite compelling little... Oh. I'm guessing... Oh. Visually, they shoot through some stage. But it doesn't actually... the shot didn't seem to get me, at least. Which is the main important thing. Woo! Alright, so yeah, I think I'll stop at that at a super cheap Meat Boy, but that's Cosmonauta? Pardon me if I'm mispronouncing that, but I'll put the name obviously in the title of this video. But it seems quite an interesting little game. Massive amount of options there in terms of you can turn it up and down. And stage wise, oh yeah, so there seems to be at least 65 stages of that game, if there isn't more. But the progression difficulty, I would imagine they will be getting quite a lot more difficult. But yeah, that definitely is an indie for me, and yeah, not a bad little indie title at all. Like I said, that weighs in at it's just over the 100 megabyte mark, so not much of pain having it on the Switch, and definitely something I could see pick up, open it up, play 1 or 2 levels, and then just, yeah, come straight back out, and the game saves immediately after each stage. So not something with massive story investment and stuff, but yeah, definitely a worthwhile little indie title, and one, yeah, it gets to stay indie my Switch.